runaway trains are chaotic. They can result in crashes, deaths, or injuries, but in a station, it is more worse. And that's exactly what happened in Pennsylvania 73 years ago today. This is the story of the Federal Express runaway. The Federal 173 was a southbound Boston to Washington, D.C. overnight train carrying mail and passengers when the train arrived in New Haven. And it New Haven Electrical was replaced the diesel along with added several passengers from Springfield to run to New York Penn Central Station. Or Penn Station. Where GG1 4876 an electric locomotive was coupled on. The train had 60 coaches and pulled sleeping cars. The Federal departed Boston at 11 p.m. After making 2 stops. The train halted at Kingston, Rhode Island, about 70 miles south of Boston. Its brakes were sticky at 45 minutes. Expected current to conduct a closed angel block and air valve. The third car, the air brake system aboard the rail cars as a single had angel locks at both ends of each car. Both valves and the open for air brake systems are properly. The only closed angle lock should have been on the front of the locomotive, the rear of the final car. Air brakes on trains were powered by a couple of air resolver about each car. The engine supply air pressure. It's supposed to flow through the air brakes along the entire length of the train. When this presumed is reversed by the engineer, valves on each car release combustion air from the cars also go into the car's brake cylinder, which applies brake shoes against the wheels show down the train. If the cars are stolen, then pressure is dumped by the engineer, and the pressure is immediately dropped to zero. All cars on the train will brake already stop at full safety. Closing an angel block at any point along the system. Taping the full safe return and restart air pressure from being able to apply any brake behind the closed angle. Every train during the train stop in New York City. And then the latest said found the angel block in the correct position after the accident. Investigators found the ICC revealed the handle of the engine block of the wheel of the third coach was not in the correct position. A few flaws in the heavy coach 8665 allowed the handle of the angel block valve to come incorrect of the coupler, causing the valve to close. This meant that the engine could only activate the braking power of the first 3 coaches. The road departed about 4:38 a.m. It made regular scheduled stops at Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, and Baltimore. No braking controls reported on all of these stops. It departed Baltimore at 7:50 a.m. Baltimore was the last train of the station. Its final destination. After leaving Baltimore, the train accelerated to 80 miles per hour. Its normal speed as the train neared Landover, Maryland. Engineer Henry W. Bowler tried to slow down towards approach the subject motion, but the train slowed to just 60 miles per hour. Well, Bowler activated the emergency brakes, but the train only slowed down to 50 miles per hour. Bowler then attempted to put the locomotive and put it in reverse while still moving forward. A highly usual emergency protest, but the train began to malfunction due to the pressure on it. So after flying from the locomotive's wheels on the first week cushion alone, tried to slow the train. The third one now began accelerating at 500 feet, long cushion of time. 73% grade, causing the train to accelerate. Realizing the train became a runway, Bowler began to start adjusting on the engine's air horn. In the yard, operator John Feeney in K-Town set the switch to each federal truck system. When the train raced past them, its horn blaring. He telephoned the station master office, My car called, picked up the phone, feeding shouted, "Run away!" And shocked as he looked as the train races towards him, and shouted, "Run for your lives!" Then he and the other clerks ran out of the office as fast as as they could. They just passed 6 seconds out of the highway's way. Aboard the train, conductor Thomas J. Murphy ran to the front of the train end to end, shouting at the passengers to get down and lower they could to the floor of their seats. Passengers on board knew something was wrong. The train normally moves very slow past beneath Floor Avenue, but this time it was just past the bridge. The car was still moving about 45 miles per hour when it uttered the terminal slowed up another hour. Then it happened. When the train crashed with the buffer stops and the situation was demolished, and new stand locomotive began to skid to its right. Also, the train being part of the concrete tore through the concrete floor, which was about 6 inches higher than the track outside. There was no design to hold weight of a train give way under the side of the building and the lids. Gigi went electric movement was re-plugging the baggage its rear plunging into the baggage and room in the basement below. 2 coaches came loose from the locomotive. The rest of the train, one of them slid into the corner just to the jar of the engine, coming to rest almost abreast of it. The other 6 now were behind the locomotive as a gigantic hole into the concourse full. 6 more coaches got dropped the tracks behind the train. The locomotive was just inches from smashing into the crowded waiting room beyond the course. A life magazine showed a foreman's nose pushing the door of the waiting room. Amazingly, no one dies during the accident, but only 43 people were injured. 6 sadly lost their lives. One of the workers of the base had just departed their coffee break, which spared their life. 4 Union Station workers were briefly trapped in the wreckage. Quickly extracted, the engineer had no injuries. On the farm, we received only scratches. Both flight climbed the GG1. The station master clock, which routed the wreckage, showed the time frozen at 8:48 a.m. NBC News was able to broadcast live for just 67 minutes after the wreck occurred. This was the time that was live nationwide broadcasts ever made. Despite the damage to Union Station, the train service with DSC was delayed but no cancelled. The railways in the local conductor's team in conjunction with Baltimore adjusted damage to Big Fairview repair and make temporary repairs as the incident occurred just 5 days before the ignition of Dwight D. Eisenhower as 24th President of the United States. It was declared to make temporary repairs to robot the exit crowd working around the clock, and the drail poles were moved into low to the basement. Sherry conducted a 21 floor in the whole of concourse and covered it quickly drying as well in just 2 days. Vickers also built a temporary station master office and a new sign just right for the crowd working to DC. PR 4876 was later cut up on site with the pieces hauled the baggage route to the gondola cars of the ship to Pennsylvania main stop in Aru, Pennsylvania. After new plates were ordered, replaced with practice by any companies that were just resumed for the ease of field. 4876 managed service for over another 30 years, having retired in 1993. 4876 is currently in storage at the Baltimore Ohio Railway Museum in Baltimore. No current plans were destroyed. The restoration. The wreck of the Federal later inspired a similar scene in the 1976 motion picture So to Speak.